Hi guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to be reviewing character breakfast that I have done while being in Walt Disney World. I do only have 5, I believe, on this list because those are the only ones I have been to. While reviewing, I'm gonna kind of talk about the characters, the different kinds of food, the views, everything that you can pretty much get from every single one of these, and I will make sure to include some pictures and also some pictures from my trip. So I hope you are looking forward to that. If so, then just continue watching. So the very top of my list, I just went there this past week, but it is Chef Mickey's. Going on this trip, I kind of was thinking, Chef Mickey's, I guess I've never really seen, because what I like to do before I go to places or like ride rides, I kind of don't want to watch videos beforehand sometimes because I kind of want to be surprised. And so whenever I went, it was definitely different. And the characters walked out. We were right next to the kitchen, which was amazing because we could see them come out. And I'm thinking, we're just gonna see Mickey and Donald, and sure enough, Minnie walked out, and I was like, oh my gosh. So that means this character breakfast does have 5 characters. You have Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Pluto, and Goofy, and they all are dressed up as chefs and bakers, pretty much everything you could find in a kitchen. And so what I really did like about this was the fact that at least this time it was the unlimited food, but it was not buffet style. So it makes it easier, like when characters are coming around, you don't have to worry about rushing to try to go get the food before they come back, which was really nice because at one of the other character breakfasts, it wasn't like that. So it was just it felt a little more stressful. And the view for Chef Mickey's, where we were sitting, we could see right out of the window, which looks over by like Magic Kingdom. And, because it is in the Contemporary, which is right next to Magic Kingdom, you can walk, which that is what we did. And if you kind of go downstairs, you can go on the back, like they have a whole balcony and you can look straight at Magic Kingdom and you can see the monorail coming in. It's just amazing. And one of the big things I really did like about this too, like I said, the food was brought to us, but I think it is amazing for families out of any of these breakfasts because they have a huge variety of items. They had first it was a bowl of fruit and yogurt, and then they were like donut holes and biscuits. But then when they brought out all of the food, you had waffles and eggs and hash brown. It was like hash brown casserole. I'm like, what? And they literally, it was just, they had a ton of food. They also had, I believe it was like chicken sausage, but it's just kind of like a variety, and like pancakes. They literally had everything. And the waitress we had there, she was super, super sweet. And I just felt all around that was probably one of the best character breakfasts when it came to the characters. There's 5 characters, the most I believe out of any of these character breakfasts. There's an amazing view. They kind of have little dance parties, which it was so cool because Donald was right next to us. And if I don't know if you've seen videos, but Donald is one of the stars of the show. And it was just amazing. I really enjoyed it was my first time, but I really enjoyed it. And the characters, almost every single one of them really fully interacted with all 4 of us, me, my mom, and dad and sister. It was great. I think it's really worth it. And, it was just amazing. So yeah, Chef Mickey's definitely on a scale of 1 to 5 Mickey heads. Well, I guess technically 0 to 5. I believe I would probably give it 5 Mickey heads. It really is all around amazing. Definitely recommend it, especially for families. So the second character breakfast on my list is Ohana, which is at the Polynesian. And I know I mentioned in my previous video, I love Lilo and Stitch. I'm not basing this rating fully off of the fact that I love it, but I just kind of want to let it be known, you know, because that really has a big play with me, because you can meet Lilo, Stitch, and they have, it's like Hawaiian Mickey. He's dressed up kind of like in a luau outfit. And that was probably one of the first Mickeys to ever make me like cry. Just because I really love it, because like I said, you can't meet Lilo anywhere else. Stitch, pretty much he's taken out of the parks. And if you see him, you maybe get to see him at Magic Kingdom, and that's only when he's up on stage. So that's why I really love this one, because you're guaranteed to meet them, and it really is an amazing, you know, restaurant. You don't like the other one, you know, it's not buffet. They bring it to you. It's really cool. They give you bread. I'm not sure the name of it, but like, you know, you kind of get that before you get your food. And you know, it's the regular character, the dining experience. I really love, you get Stitch waffles. I mean, come on, Stitch waffles. And it's just all around, like I said, and the view, if you, depending on any outside location of the restaurant, there's windows all the way around, and you just kind of get to see, you know, it's beautiful. There's a ton, you know, the water, the sand, it's just such a beautiful view. And I really do think that that one, like I said, is worth it, just because you're not having to rush to go get food. It's brought to you. You're guaranteed you're gonna see all of the characters. There's 3, so it makes it really easy for them to kind of, you know, rotate around the restaurant. And it's just, that one really does steal it, like I said, just because, you know, Stitch, you barely get to see him anywhere, if you do. And Lilo, you never get to see her. So I really do think it's worth it, especially if you do love Lilo and Stitch. And the food is great, the experience, because they do, the second time I went, I believe it wasn't the first time, I'm not really sure, but one of the times we did go, they kind of did have a little parade, and like Lilo was going around, you know, kind of grabbing the kids, you know, getting them in line, and you know, Stitch, all of them kind of joined in. They did like a parade around the restaurant. It was just really fun, and it's definitely, Ohana means family, and they definitely treat you like family, and many times they will refer to you as their family. So I really do think that this one is worth it, and give it a shot. So third on my list is Topolino's Terrace at the Riviera Resort. This one is kind of a 50-50. I went this past trip this last week, and it was that one and Chef Mickey's. I really do think, I definitely was more excited for this restaurant rather than Chef Mickey's, and I definitely loved Chef Mickey's more than this one. I think the main thing that kind of threw me off with this one was the fact that we kind of had to ask them to bring the characters to us. It got to where, you know, we'd been there for so long, and she's like, you know, are you guys ready to leave? And we were kind of like, I mean, we're done eating, but we still haven't even seen a character, because they kind of had just a wonky rotation. And you know, they have very frequent dance parties, which I love, because you know, you kind of get the chance to see them all dance. There's music playing, it's super fun. I just kind of don't like the fact, though, like I said, that we had to kind of wait for the characters to come to us. But given that, I loved that I was able to see Artist Mickey. He is one of my favorite, like, I love just the style, everything of it. And that was a really good Mickey experience with me. So, you know, the characters, whenever we did see them, it did make up for, you know, the kind of the loss that we had. So other than that, like I said, really it was just kind of like, I felt like we had to wait and wait for the characters to come to us, or they would about to be to us and oh, it's time for them to leave again. So that was the only thing I really didn't like. And the food there is not unlimited, and it isn't a buffet though, so which is great for, you know, you won't miss out on those characters. It is though to where you pick one regular style meal. So I ended up doing the French toast. And then you can get another one, but you only get the main dish. You don't get like any sides or anything. So I wanted to try the waffle because it comes with like a orange kind of syrup in it. And so I'm like, I really wanted to try that. But they also do bring out as kind of like a appetizer type of thing. It had like muffins and, you know, like, I'm not sure if there was maybe like a donut hole, a croissant. It had a couple different bakery items inside of this. It was like a paint bowl, and it was on like a paint tray. I can't think of the name of it right now. And you know, it had like strawberry, butter, chocolate, like different things for you to dip it in. And I thought that was really, really cute. I loved that detail of it. And really what was one of the big things that did make this was the view. The view is spectacular. We were sitting, you know, from our table, you look over, you can see like Epcot, Tower of Terror. Over here you see not Riviera, you see the Skyliner, you see, you know, it's just so beautiful. And so like after you're done, you can kind of walk out on the terrace, and you can just, it's like literally the most beautiful view ever. And you know, you can take pictures out there, you can just see everything, and it's really nice. I think that's one of the best things about that restaurant. So I definitely think, I'm not saying any of this for you to be like, you know, don't go. It was just kind of like, I think it was like, it's a character breakfast, you know, like you're paying for the characters. So it was just like, I hated that we had to ask, you know, like, can they come see us, or, you know, just kind of having to wait for them to come back out. But other than that, like I said, once they came to us, it was amazing. The food was amazing. The view was great. So definitely still give all of these a try, no matter what, you know, my opinions are, your opinions, just, you know, it's just kind of me sitting here telling you what my experience was like, and what out of all of these, what I prefer the most. So definitely, like I said, take some tips, put in your own tips, and you'll still love it. Now, these last two are kind of back to back. I'm not really sure. I guess just because both of them, I didn't have like these amazing experiences for me to really, you know, put them higher up. But again, I love all of them. But this one, fourth on my list, is the Garden Grill at Epcot. This one you get to see Farmer Mickey, Chip and Dale, and Pluto, which I absolutely love that Mickey, like, so much. And it's really nice because, again, the food is unlimited. They bring it to you. The only problem that we had was we were sitting on the inner circle, which like is closer to the kitchen. And what I didn't like was the fact that the table was extremely small, and especially for the amount of food, you know, like they have one big skillet they bring out, and we had 4 people, so the table, it was just really small. I guess that's pretty much the only thing that I would say I didn't like. I mean, it was still doable, we still made it work. Because I think they kind of say, like, you know, that outer circle for, you know, much bigger parties, because that's where they have like the booths and the bigger tables. It's a decent size, but it's still very small, just because, again, which I think this is a plus, it is a very unique setup. It is like a big circle. You rotate around, and underneath you get to see the Living with the Land, which it's just so cool. You know, like you're literally eating inside of an attraction. And I loved it. It's it's definitely different, and you know, you rotate. And this one was probably, out of all of these, I think the most character interaction we had. Like, they kind of just kept coming to us, and I love that. Especially, it could just be like, you know, there may have been not a lot of people, or you know, it was just really nice. Like, we were constantly having them come to us, and it, you know, that makes it, because while we're sitting there, you know, we're not having to get up and go get our food, it's coming to us. So we do get to get those character interactions. And again, you know, like the view, I think that's what's really nice about that one, is just because, again, you're eating inside of an attraction and you're rotating. So it's definitely unique. And the last on my list, I guess I just kind of tried putting these in order. It depends on the day. Is the Crystal Palace at Magic Kingdom. I know some people are probably gonna have something to say about this order, so that's why I said it depends on the day. It depends on the experience, you know. I think one of the things that kind of puts this one down is the fact that it is the only one that is a buffet. At least out of the ones that I've been to. I think some of these, I think like Chef Mickey's might be coming back as a buffet, but this was the time that I went where it wasn't. But it is a buffet, so the biggest thing was you could possibly miss characters. And again, you're paying for character breakfast, so you don't want to miss that interaction. So I think that was kind of one of the only downfalls to this restaurant. But to make up for that, you do get to see Pooh, Tigger, Eeyore, and Piglet, which I love. Every time I love meeting Tigger. He's just, it's Tigger, you know, like you can't not be happy whenever you see Tigger. So again, those kind of are rare characters. I mean, especially like Piglet and Eeyore, you don't really just see them in the park. I know when we went the other day, they had Pooh and Tigger meeting over by the Winnie the Pooh ride. But it's just kind of, you know, it's cool whenever you get to go and you get to meet those rare characters, and you know, it's just, it's worth it to me. And the food though, I know I was talking about it being a buffet, but the food was still very good. Pretty much almost all of these kind of had the same food, except Topolino's. It's like an actual like meal. And you know, Chef Mickey's had a couple extra, you know, like they brought out a ton of different kinds of food, and some of them, you know, were friendly for anybody in your family. So their Crystal Palace's food was kind of one of the ones with the bigger variety, kind of, because it is a buffet. They can fit more than just bring it all out to the table, if that makes sense. And they do the dance party here. Theirs is kind of like a really bigger parade kind of thing, because all of them get into it and it's all around the restaurant. And that's definitely one of the big things about this that I do love. And of course, one of the biggest things, I think it might have been the first or second time, probably the second time we went, I'm not sure. We were sitting like almost right by the view of the castle, and we went super early in the morning, so there was nobody out in front of the castle walking down Main Street. And you know, it was just an amazing view. Like, while you're sitting there eating, you can look and you see Magic Kingdom, like you see the castle. And it's just, I think that's one of the biggest things. Obviously, you pay for the characters. It's a character breakfast. But the fact that you can also see these amazing views that you sometimes just don't get to see, like the Contemporary, you were able to see Magic Kingdom and the monorail from such a different view. Whenever you go to Topolino's, you can see the sky, like you can just see the Skyliner and Magic Kingdom and Epcot and Tower of Terror. Like, it's just so cool. And I think that's really what's important is with these things, you're paying all this money for it. You want to get the most out of your experience as you can. So I think whenever I'm rating these right now, I think that's kind of how my mindset was with it. I'm rating it as the experiences that I've had, not the videos I've seen of people going, not everybody else's experience. It's simply just my experience. And out of all the times I've been to most of these, I think the one that I had the best experience was at Chef Mickey's. The characters, we saw them multiple times coming around. They had little dance parties. They had a huge variety of food. It was brought out to us. Character interactions were amazing. Our waitress was amazing. It wasn't hard getting in. It's worth it. I definitely think if you are considering going to do a character breakfast, that you kind of just look into your options. Obviously, go to the characters that you like the most. If you like Winnie the Pooh, go there. If you like Lilo and Stitch, go there. Or maybe, every other trip, try one place and another. That's kind of how it was this past time, where, we're looking at reservations and there was one open for Ohana. And I love Ohana because I love Lilo and Stitch, as you can see. But at the same time, I was so excited whenever I found out we were going to Topolino's. And then, knowing we were going to Chef Mickey's. Like, yeah, we could have gone to the places we loved, but then we tried new places and we love those too, or some not even more. So if you take anything from this video, just kind of take the fact that try what you want and just enjoy. Take the pictures and try the foods and go look out at the views you can. Like, just enjoy the experience. Definitely do not feel rushed, especially if you haven't seen the characters you wanted or you're still, do not feel rushed. That's definitely the big thing. Like, if you see a character coming, don't feel the need to rush and eat, or don't feel, just enjoy it, live in the moment, and just try out all the things you can. I know some of these are a bit pricey. It just kind of depends on when you go. But at least, I think that is the one thing I like about the ones that are unlimited, because you're getting more for your money. But then there's places that were like Topolino's where you paid for it and you don't get unlimited food. You get whatever you order, and they're not huge portions, which I know I don't want to eat a lot, but I guess I'm thinking, like, if I'm gonna pay all this money, I want to get the whole experience from it. So I guess it's just kind of like, if you want to try something, you really can't. Like, you have to order that and eat it. They don't bring anything else out to you. Definitely try them out. You won't be disappointed. And maybe feel free to just leave a comment down below and tell me which one of these you liked the most, or if you've been to a character breakfast I haven't mentioned. Let me know your experience there. I am all ears. Like Mickey Mouse, all ears. And I would love to hear your story, your experience, your opinions. I would love to hear it. So feel free to do that. Like the video, subscribe, share. It means a lot to me, and I'm trying to make things that I know somebody out there will love, and I really do enjoy what I'm doing. So thank you. I love you all, and I'll see you next time. Bye.